We're not going to have a monopoly on progress of opportunity. Technology is a leveler. The weak will be strong, and those with nothing shall have something. I've always believed that the web is more than a network of machines. It's a network of minds that's evolving into a collective intelligence and a global consciousness. You look at this. Look at this every day you see it. It's extraordinary. Look at the way people came together last year to help the victims of the Japanese earthquake. This terrible thing that happened to these guys. We see this in a moment of crisis and tragedy and joy. And it is the web that unites us in sentiment and action. People live in communities everywhere in the world. So people can access the network, can engage in these shared experiences, but regardless of these physical obstacles that we're all familiar with. So a single internet-related hub can directly share internet access with a whole community. Every person won't have direct access at all times, but every community will. So even then, we get there. In every village, there will be an internet cafe or a lean-to, which obviously acts as a center for people to connect to each other in the world. But perhaps most importantly, it will redefine the relationship that these people have with the world. In times of war and suffering, it will be impossible to ignore the voices that cry out for help. Just think about the extraordinary pictures that we're seeing. That literally they're coming out of Syria every day. Assad's brutality on display for everyone to see. Right? The world is upset, the world is mobilizing, people care. In this new world, there will be far fewer places for dictators, people who brutalize other people, to hide. It will be far easier for communities to mobilize themselves against autocratic regime. By the way, this is what we saw in the Arab Spring. So there's an emerging global group of global citizens, inspired by people like Steve Jobs, who believe society can be shifted by these platforms, that the way we organize ourselves can make a difference, that these passions, that the people are so passionate that it borders on the religious, but the important and the ultimate achievement in this vision of the future is that technology actually disappears. Now, I don't mean technology becomes less relevant. I mean it becomes part of everyday life. The people will have to spend less time getting technology to work, right? The years of debugging your PC long gone. Instead of worrying about which cable or which computers or where your content is stored, because it's all so seamless. It will just be there. The web will be everything, but it will also be nothing. It will be like electricity, just always there. So as a result, people will instinctively trust in technology and have a greater faith in the technology that's part of their lives than in any other institution, and the future is indeed a very bright place. This trend of big data in computing will allow society to get much better insight into how people and communities function. Governments will be better able to spot economic indicators, right? Maybe they'll even see a crisis faster than the last one that they created, right? Doctors will be able to accurately predict the outbreak of disease. Teachers will get a better understanding of what works best for kids. And transparency will transform the way governments operate, forcing bureaucrats and politicians to be more open in their decision making. But smartphones don't have to talk to a central hub. Again, this is our model is somehow that they're always connected to these brilliant internet 4G connections, but they don't have to be. They can just talk to each other, sharing data in some sort of a peer-to-peer relationship without an intermediary. These are generally known as mesh networks. A network where the mesh is the constituent parts and things are forwarded among the mesh nodes. Mesh networks don't even have to be connected to the internet to be useful. Instead of connecting everyone to a centralized web infrastructure, communities could simply beam local data from machine to machine to share local content. In fact, Android, you can beam from handset to handset without a cord, using Bluetooth and other technologies. They can also be connected, obviously, by the web by an internet-enabled server. So mesh networks you could build, for example, using Wi-Fi or even over 4G. Some governments are going to try to control and restrict access to the web and to new technology. Example, 40 countries engage in some form of online censorship, up just from 4 a decade ago. Google's products, something we obviously care a lot about, are blocked in about 25 of the 125 countries in which we operate. And even in the US, we've seen worrying legislative and regulatory proposals in recent months. We will see more of these efforts, but I think they're going to fail. And I think they're going to fail because the internet and technology are like water. They'll find a way through. No system of censorship can be absolute. There will always be chinks which clever, artful citizens can use to find information, organize, and break free. But we need to act now to avoid the rise of this sort of new digital caste system that I'm talking about. We're not all born into families with laptops and robots and all the other fun things that we love to speculate about. But everyone, every human being is blessed with creativity, imagination, and a capacity for innovation, regardless of where we come from. I believe this profoundly. In every person, there is company. There's an even better company waiting to get out. Technology empowers by its very nature, and by ensuring universal access to the cloud, to each other, to the world, we can create a global community of equals. Every revolution, I started by saying, this is a revolution that we started, right? I'm very, very proud to be with my tribe, if you will. All of you who care about the same things that I do, that we do, speaking for Google. All of us here have been given the opportunities and the talent and the passion to change the world through the power of this technology. Let us resolve as developers and entrepreneurs to commit ourselves to building a world where everyone has a chance to be connected and to enjoy a future of greater freedom and opportunity for all. So let's have a wonderful time here this week, and let's all get to work. Thank you very much.